Slow English podcast from Podcast English. Hey, lovely listeners. Welcome to the Slow English podcast, your space to learn real English slowly, clearly, and confidently. My name is Layla, and I want to begin with something simple. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and felt lighter? Not because you said everything, but because you didn't? I used to believe that connection came from opening up, sharing my thoughts, my stories, my emotions. And sometimes that was true, but sometimes it wasn't. There were days when I spoke honestly and still felt invisible, and nights when I kept something inside and strangely felt safe. That's what this episode is about: the quiet power of privacy, the soft strength of keeping things to yourself. You'll hear my story, and maybe parts of yours too. And as always, we'll practice English slowly, clearly, and with heart. And don't forget, there's a free PDF guide for this episode, with comprehension, grammar, and vocabulary practice, for just a little extra support on your journey. Ready? Let's begin. Not with noise, but with quiet. Because sometimes, silence teaches you things that words never could. I used to tell people everything: what I felt, what I feared, what I dreamed about. I believed if I shared more, I'd be closer to people. That honesty meant connection. And sometimes it did, but other times it left me feeling tired and, honestly, a little invisible. You see, the first hard part about oversharing is that people don't always react the way we expect. You open your heart and they just nod, or change the topic, or smile politely like they didn't really hear you. That kind of silence hurts in a quiet way. You walk away feeling heavy, thinking, maybe I said too much, or worse, maybe I don't matter. And then there's the second part. Sometimes what you share doesn't stay safe. A story you told in confidence becomes a joke at lunch. A personal truth gets repeated to someone else without your name, but with all the details. Suddenly, your words are not yours anymore, and you're left thinking, why did I give them that part of me? That's when it began for me, the quiet shift. The feeling that maybe not everything needed to be spoken out loud. But old habits don't change overnight. Even after that moment, I kept sharing. I still believed that if I trusted the right people, it would be safe. And maybe, in some ways, I was still a little immature. I hadn't yet learned that some stories are meant to be held, not handed out. I remember one moment clearly. It was a quiet evening. I was sitting with a friend I thought I could trust. We were at her kitchen table drinking tea, and I started talking about something personal. It wasn't a secret, but it was close to my heart. I told her I was thinking of leaving my job, that I felt stuck, like I wasn't growing, that every morning I woke up with a heavy feeling in my chest, like I was pretending to be okay. I told her I felt scared because I didn't have another plan yet, and I didn't know if I was being brave or just being foolish. She nodded. She said, "You'll figure it out." And that was it. No real response, no deep conversation, just a smile and another sip of tea. I felt a little silly after that, like I had opened a door and no one walked in. But what really hurt came later. A few days after, I got a message from someone else, a friend of a friend. She said, "Hey, I heard you're quitting your job. That's wild. What happened?" I didn't reply right away. I just sat there, holding my phone and my breath. That was the moment I knew my quiet fear, my private struggle, had turned into someone else's coffee table story. I gave too much, and they didn't hold it with care. And the worst part, I couldn't even blame them fully, because I had handed them the pieces. I had spoken without knowing if they were ready to listen or able to protect what I gave. That's when I realized something hard. Not everyone deserves full access to your heart. Not because people are bad, but because your peace is worth protecting. I didn't want to feel that tired anymore. Tired of oversharing. Tired of feeling invisible even after speaking honestly. Tired of carrying regret for what I gave away too soon. So I stopped. Not all at once, but little by little. I began holding things closer, just to see what it felt like. At first, it felt strange. I'd sit with a thought and not say it out loud. I'd feel something strong and let it pass quietly without texting anyone. It was awkward. I felt like I was hiding. But after a few days, something shifted. I noticed the silence wasn't heavy. It was soft, like a blanket, like something that belonged to me. I started to notice people who were quieter than me. Not cold, just calm. They didn't rush to explain, they didn't overtalk, and still people respected them, listened to them, trusted them. And that's when it hit me. You don't have to say everything to be understood. You don't have to share everything to be real. Some things become stronger when you protect them. I remember writing in my journal one night, "Not every feeling needs a listener. Some just need space." That sentence stayed with me, and over time, keeping quiet didn't feel like hiding anymore. It felt like healing, like I was slowly collecting all the little pieces of myself and holding them with care. And then something unexpected began to happen. Things around me started to change too. My conversations became simpler. There was less drama, less explaining, fewer misunderstandings. I felt more in control of my emotions because I wasn't handing them out to everyone anymore. I gave them space. I let them breathe. I stopped feeling that pressure to answer every question. I realized it's okay to say, "I'm still thinking about that," or even, "I don't feel like talking about it." And something beautiful happened. People began to listen more, even though I was saying less. I became someone others saw as calm, collected, private, but not distant. They started saying things like, "You seem more peaceful. You look lighter these days. You speak so gently, but it carries weight." And I smiled because what they didn't see was that the strength they were noticing was built in silence, in all the moments I chose to keep something just for myself. And maybe now it's time for me to share something with you. If you're someone who shares easily, who speaks from the heart, who wants to be understood, I get it. I really do. There is beauty in being open, but there is also strength in knowing when to stay quiet. You are not rude for holding back. You are not fake for keeping some thoughts to yourself. You are not cold for protecting your peace. You are still kind, still real, still you, even in silence. Because not everyone deserves your full story. Not everyone knows how to hold your truth with care. And you don't need to shrink just to feel heard. So here's my gentle question for you. What's one thing you'll keep just for yourself today? One feeling, one dream, one quiet thought that's yours and only yours. So, my lovely listeners, thank you for being here, for listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart. I know today's topic was quiet, but sometimes that's where the loudest truths live. If this episode made you think, or simply made you feel a little less alone, then I'm glad, because that's why we're here. Not just to learn English, but to grow gently together. Don't forget you can download the free PDF guide for this episode. It includes comprehension questions, grammar, vocabulary, and a few soft reflection prompts. Just a little extra support for your English and for your heart. Take your time, stay kind to yourself, and remember, you don't have to tell the whole story to live it fully. I'm Layla, and this was the Slow English Podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, Click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.